And finally, I have been so waiting for Nyx Face Awards to get here in the Philippines because I have been a fan of the Nyx Face Awards. And finally, I have the time to film for my entry for the Nyx Face Awards Philippines! Woo! So this would be my rendition of Daenerys Khaleesi, Daenerys Targaryen, and I am a big fan of Game of Thrones, and my favorite makeup look would be Khaleesi's because it's really simple. But when it comes to Nyx Face Awards, girl, you don't go with simple. You have to do something unique and incredible and creative. So this is what I have for you guys. And my concept was, what if Khaleesi became the dragon herself and not just the mother of dragons? I really love this look, and I hope you did as well. And pray with me so that I could get to the top 30 of the Nyx Face Awards Philippines. And if I do, please support me all the way up to, I don't know, until when I can do it, because it's gonna be voting soon. So, and I hope you guys show your support to me by liking this video, and of course leave some encouraging comments down below if you love this look, and of course as well as subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. If you don't want to subscribe, just subscribe as well. So yeah, and if you're interested in how I do this look, then keep on watching. First, we'll start off by using a modeling clay on a tray and then flattening it out, making a shape of the left eye socket, just like what I'm doing here. Next, when you're satisfied with the shape, carve or draw some irregular patterns of scales on your clay and make sure that it's flat around the edges. And then next, use something, a steel pusher or a nail file or something like that, to carve the edges even better. And then when you are happy with the pattern, you should have something that looks like this, and make sure that the edges are flat. And then here I made a reservoir for the plaster later on. So first is apply a baby oil on the surface so that the plaster won't stick to the clay. And then I mixed a plaster, which is 2 parts plaster and 1 part water, until you have this kind of consistency, and then apply that on top of the modeling clay that we made earlier, and make sure that the reservoir is filled in just like so, and then wait for it to dry. It usually takes about a few hours, and then when it's dry, take off the reservoir and then carefully lift off the plaster, and then you should have something that looks like this. Amazing, huh? And of course, next, pour on your liquid latex. Make sure that you create a thick layer so that it will not be ruined when you peel it off. So after pouring in your liquid latex, swirl the plaster around so that the product will be distributed evenly, and then wait for it to dry. It's gonna be really hard when you peel it off at first, so make sure to use a powder to make it easier, just like what I'm doing here. Ta-da! And there's your scales. So let's set that aside. And the next props, I am using here a polymorph plastic. So to melt it off, use a hot water or a boiling water. So make sure to be careful when you're doing this. And then wait for the pellets to go clear, and touch the plastic if it's cool enough for you to handle, and then take a piece just like that and then mold a fin or just like a spike of a dragon. It's really hard to explain, but it takes a while for you to create this one, but make sure that you have a flat surface to stick the spike on your face later on, and then make sure that the rest is flat and sharp at the edge. Create a bunch of this with different sizes and you're good to go. I also made a set of nails out of polymorph plastic for my dragon claws and also for my ears, but I haven't filmed that, sorry. So next is we're going to create an egg, and this is my paper mache made out of newspaper and a mixture of 1 part water and 1 part flour on a balloon that is shaped like an egg. So after drying, you can mold on your air drying clay. So make sure to create a flat round object just like what I'm doing here, and then stick it on your egg starting from the bottom. So I started from the bottom to the top. Use an alternating pattern just like what I'm doing here. Since I wasn't happy with the orange one because it easily breaks, I went on ahead with the white clay because it's more durable than the orange one. So after drying for 24 hours, coat the egg with black paint first, and then next use the silver red, just a light coat on top of the egg, and then concentrate on the bottom to create an ombre effect, and then spray the gold one on the top of the egg to finish the ombre effect. Okay, so you should be done with your egg. Wait for it to dry, and then while it's drying, let's set up with the makeup. So I am already done here putting on my wig and my burlap top right here that I sew. And of course, I'm also done with my base already. So we'll start off with the brows. DAENERYS has a very natural, full looking brow. So I'm going to do my best to make my brows look fuller. And after that, contour your face, and I'm using here my NYX Stay Matte But Not Flat foundation, and this is in the shade Caramel. So I'm going to contour my face because Khaleesi's face is perfect. So I'm just going on the hollows of my cheeks, on my forehead, and on my jawbone area. Then using a smaller brush, I'm contouring here my eyelids, just a light one. And then of course contour my nose because I don't have that pointy nose that she has. And it appears that she has a peachy pinkish tone on her eyelids as well. It's just a light touch of pink and peach on her eyelids. So I'm going to apply a peachy pink, or this is a blush, and I'm applying it on my lids and below as well. You should have something that looks like this. And then next, tightline your eyes using a black eyeliner. We're not going for that strong false eyelashes look, so I'm just going to coat it with mascara, the top and the bottom lashes. Yes, we're almost done. So let's move on with blush. So I'm using here a reddish blush, and I'm going to apply just a light amount on my cheeks to keep it looking flushed. And then for the lips, for that natural pinkish lips, I'm going to use this NYX lingerie in the shade Bedtime Flirt, and then I'm going to use my finger to take a small amount of the product and then spread it on my lips just to give it a light touch of pink, and then we're done. That is your Khaleesi makeup. So that should be easy. So we're moving on with the SFX. So what I did here is I already cut the edges of my dragon scales. Before putting anything else, make sure to add Vaseline on top of your brows because girl, you don't want the liquid latex pulling off all the hairs off of your face. So after putting on your Vaseline, staple on liquid latex on the areas where you're going to stick the scales on. And when you have rough edges, make sure to cover it with cotton and liquid latex, and then make sure to flatten it all out. The next, I'm sticking my spikes here on my face using a nail glue because nail glue is stickier than my spirit gum, so this should be perfect. But make sure to put it on top of your liquid latex, not directly on your face. It's very dangerous. So make sure to wait for it to get tacky and then apply it on top of your liquid latex. So I have decided to put on my foundation first before putting on the rest of the spikes because I know that it will be harder later on. So I'm just using here the same foundation that I used earlier on my face so that it will have the same color, and also apply the same foundation on the spikes. The next, powder it all off just like that, seamless. And the next, reattach all the spikes. And for that irritated skin effect, I'm going to use the same blush that I used earlier because I want to have this transforming effect. So she is still on the transformation process, so her skin looks irritated because all the scales are coming out. That's my goals. And the next, I'm using here my NYX jumbo pencil in black bean, and using a pencil brush, I'm going to apply that on the crevices area to accentuate the depth of the scales. So make sure to blend the lines on the edges. And then also concentrate the black one on the base of the spikes, and then apply the same black bean on your eyelids and below where there is a hollow part, just like what I'm doing here. And then blend the edges. So to make it stay on place, I'm going to use a black eyeshadow on top of the black bean. Make sure to get to every nooks and crannies. And then next, I'm using again the same blush on the edges and adding more blush to keep my face look irritated. And the next, I'm using here my NYX jumbo pencil in milk, and I'm going to apply that on top of the highest points of my scales to make them look more elevated. And this is the earpiece that I made out of polymorph plastic, so I'm applying the same foundation to match my skin tone, and then apply that on my ears just like so. Voila! It's so amazing. And then next, for the suit effect, I'm using here a dark brown eyeshadow and a sea sponge, which is very irritating on the skin, so I'm still going to use it, but don't use it if it's not wet. So I'm going to stipple that on random areas of my face and neck area, and also on my shoulder area, to make it look like I just came out of the fire. Next, I'm using a black eyeshadow with a bit of a shimmer in it to mimic ashes. Apply that on random areas as well. So for the lips, I wanted to make it look like I was breathing fire. So I'm using here the black bean on the center of my lips and then blending it really well. So we're done with makeup. Let's go for the nails. Here I'm using NYX lingerie and the shade Scandalous, and I'm coating all the nails with it. So wait for it to dry and then apply your nail glue and then stick it on your nails after it gets tacky. So we should be done with the makeup look. That is a long process, especially with the props. So I hope you guys like this, and I really love this one. I hope you guys support me with Nyx Face Awards, and I hope to get to top 30. I give it my all. So thank you so much guys for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Thank you so much guys. I love you. Bye. Mwah.